Back with another one, y'all. Bad News Brown. Now, in this video, I'm gonna be breaking down a little city and street politics regarding the Bay Area, the San Francisco Bay Area. And I'm also gonna be asking a few questions that I've been hearing over the years regarding Oakland, the town, and the Bay Area as a whole. So let's go. Well, now, again, I'm talking about the San Francisco Bay Area. Now, why is it called the San Francisco Bay Area as opposed to just the Bay Area? Well, probably because Frisco is got more money than all other cities. It's a more prominent city. It's an international city. I mean, you can be in Frisco on the Muni, which is like they bus line, and you'll meet somebody from Paris, France, all over, just regularly, where you ain't gonna too much see that nowhere else in the Bay. Definitely not in the town for the most part. So, and that's just one of the many things about Frisco and the reason why it's more prominent of all the other cities in the Bay Area. And the reason why Frisco is so rich is because of gold. And now that we have to go back to 1849, of course, which is called the San Francisco Gold Rush, where a lot of people migrated this way, did away with a lot of indigenous people here already. Unfortunately, we know that story. And in the pursuit of gold, Frisco was built. So that's why Frisco got so much money, because it was gold there. So like if you was to compare the Bay Area to New York City, Frisco would be like Manhattan. Oakland would be like Brooklyn. So, and that brings up another thing as far as the whole relationship to Frisco to Oakland. Well, traditionally, Oakland had more black people than Frisco. Although Frisco did and do have historically black neighborhoods like Hunters Point and Fillmore, Oakland, for the most part, always had more black people. Now, of course, a lot of this is changing or have already changed due to gentrification or whatnot, but historically, those are the facts. Oakland had more black people. Frisco had a lot more black people than they got now, too, but gentrification, again, like I said. But if you ask me, that's been the difference in a glance. Oakland just had more black people. So Oakland would be like Brooklyn, like when Pop like is Brooklyn in the house and niggas will lose their motherfucking mind. That's like Oakland. Now Richmond, to me, Richmond, I kind of compare Richmond to Compton, and although that's not New York, but to me Richmond is like Compton, and I could be wrong, but it reminds me of Compton, being that Compton is in LA, like the Bay Area, but Compton is its own city. And I spoke about that in the video. It's just like Richmond is its own city, of course, and they got a whole lot of black people, and they kind of hold their own. So I kind of compare them to, it's the same in a way. But again, for the most part, not for the most part, the Bay Area, Frisco is the money city. Now this brings up another thing, a question I want to answer. Being that, of course, over the years, depending on your age, whether you know or knew or not, the whole Bay Area code was 415. So you may see people from Oakland or anywhere else in the Bay with the 415 tattoo. And that is because the whole Bay Area was 415. And for certain reasons, they switched it. They switched Oakland area code to 510. I guess they figured, or according to them, a lot of the boys around this way was kicking up a lot of dust from the inside in on the outside. So and I was young when they switched the area code. I remember when it happened though. But so it's not what I say abnormal to see somebody from the town or anywhere else, again from the Bay, that ain't from Frisco with a 415 area code. And that brings up another thing, since I'm talking about it, and I done seen this happen in the pen as far as the Rolling 20s in Oakland and the Rolling 20s in LA. No, it's two different things. Had nothing to do with, although the Rolling 20s in LA is blood, they're not, neighborhood crip, 660 or whatever, but the ones in Oakland ain't got nothing to do with the ones in LA. And it's funny because I was in the pen one time. Yeah, I was in Soledad and it was a Rolling 20 blood in there. And I noticed a few times a lot of people, they thought he was from Oakland, being that, of course, we in the up north pen. And I remember he at the domino table and he talking, oh, you from Oakland? He like, nah, I'm from LA or whatever. I just thought that was funny, being that. And that's probably what happened if somebody from out this way, Rolling 20s, although they don't even call it the Rolling 20s now, it's the Murder Dubs, went from the Twomps to the Dubs. But again, it wouldn't be uncommon to see a Rolling 20s tattoo on somebody from Oakland, as of course, same as in LA or whatnot. And I didn't see that mix up on several occasions, especially when it comes to the Rolling, because not only in Oakland you got Rolling 20s, you got Rolling hundreds or whatever, but again, that has nothing to do with the neighborhood car or whatever. We just said it as far as if your area is rolling. And again, another difference between us and LA street politics, they tend to go by the last digit, where we go by the first digit. And this ain't all they hoods or all of they gang politics, but a lot of them do. They go by the last digit, where we go by the first digit. So, and for instance, and again, like I said, rolling is just, for us, it was more or less like a term, as far as if your hood popping. So, it's popping, it's rolling, okay, it's the rolling, whatever. Although, out here in the town, every digit or whatever don't usually use a rolling, because it all depends on what hood you in. Now, again, if you in the 20s, yeah, it used to be rolling 20s. Then it went from the 20s to the Twomps, then the Twomps to the Dubs. Now, if you in the teens on that side of town, meaning like from First Street all over First Ave to 14th, because the Dubs actually start when you cross 14th, you actually in the Dubs, but from First Ave to 14th is actually Funk Town. And after, as far as the 30s, you would hear 30s, of course, and the 40s, that's High Street for the most part. Then 48, although, yeah, pretty much for the most part. Then the 50s, which would be different because you won't have the 500 bottom and the top, Melrose or whatnot. Then you gonna have Seminary 557. So I'll say that to say it ain't just every numeric sequence don't put the rolling on it. Now the hundreds, they put the rolling on it, but again, I can go on and on, because in every section, even in 700, I ain't never heard rolling 70s. But even though if somebody was to just say it, they just talking about 700, pretty much the 7. But that's how that go as far as our politic and breakdown. It ain't got nothing to do with the LA, again, like I said, the neighborhood car or whatever. But that's enough for that. Now, another thing, yeah, man, San Jose is the Bay Area. Alright, I'm tired of hearing people even say that it's the Bay Area. Now, and it's another thing, you do got some guys down there that bang Crip and Blood, or mainly Crip, I done heard or met. But you do got some Bay Area San Jose dudes, 408. That's their area code, 408. And they rep that Bay Area. They ain't rocking Crip, but you do got some San Jose Crips. But that is the Bay Area. And I mentioned that before too, so that answers that. And of course you got other cities in the Bay that kick up dust. EPA, Hayward, Pittsburgh, Vallejo, of course. So in all those cities, if we was in LA, then would be your Inglewoods, your Pasadenas, Pomonas. And if it was New York, then would be your Queens, Bronxes, Staten Islands, or whatever. So Manhattans, Harlems. So it's pretty much the same. It's the Bay Area is a metropolitan area, but Frisco is like the Manhattan. That's like the East Coast on the West Coast. It even moved different than downtown LA. But again, Oakland traditionally got more black people. That's like the Brooklyn or the South Central of the Bay Area for the most part. But yeah, man, Bad News Brown breaking this shit down a little bit for y'all one time, man. Go ahead and subscribe to me. I'm definitely gonna be back at y'all with some more shit. Peace.